I've been adding support to my video board, so this is just to document what's happened and give a few quick demonstrations. So the first thing that I did was to take my fourth implementation and update it so that it would print to the video display rather than to the serial line. It still takes its input from the video display, but the or input from the serial line, but the but all the output is onto the video display here, and you can see that it's doing the scrolling that we were seeing before that I put in the last video. I also added a couple of primitives to Forth. That's the v-at, the v-fetch and v-set there, to let it update the video registers, the registers on the RA8875. And reading and writing registers is basically the way that you do everything, including accessing the graphics routines. So if I just, so that means that, and I can now write Forth code that will do various little video demos. So for instance, I've got to remember what I called things. We can draw some lines, draw some colors, fill the screen with differently colored circles and so forth. So there's different kinds of little things that we can do there. And let me show you one other thing. .fs, include. I'm forgetting the basic commands here, which is really kind of silly. So this is the Mandelbrot generator that I used before. So this is the old one I had that just did text Mandelbrots, and all I've done is I've updated it a little bit. It's all the same basic code, but just instead of outputting ASCII text, it outputs some colored blocks. So while that's running, let me just talk a little bit about performance. I've updated my SPI routines using faster implementation based on a version by Jeff Lawton on the 6502 forum. And right now, this is currently sending about 27,000 bytes a second, so 27,000 potential characters a second via SPI. To put text on this display requires either 2 bytes written or 4 bytes written, depending on the mode it's in at the time. So that means I'm getting a maximum output rate. If we say it's like an average is 3 of about 9,000 characters a second. I'm not actually getting 9,000 characters a second because there's other code has to be run, but a maximum capacity of 9,000 characters a second. Now, I was previously running the serial terminal at 19,200, which is the fastest that the 6551 will do, and that's about 2,000 characters a second. So I'm getting much faster text output now than I was before. But of course, it's using a whole lot more of the CPU's time. It takes more of the CPU's attention to write that text. I'm figuring that if I can manage to switch over to the 6.5 SPI, which is what I'm planning to do, I'll be able to improve on that performance, but I will also gain back the processor cycles that I've lost. But for what I'm doing, the way I'm using this machine, it's actually absolutely fine. So let me show you one other thing here. So in previous videos, type the right thing, Paul. In previous videos, I've shown you a text editor that I wrote, and so it was based on the editor, screen editor that I'd originally put into the Forth, but then I updated it to be standalone. So now I've taken that standalone version and updated it so that it works on this display as well. So we can, move around and edit things and delete things to our heart's content. So what was really nice about this was that actually it only took, this was a very quick port. I just had a small number of routines I had to edit, that, the routine that outputs a character and the routine that, repositions the cursor and so forth. And it actually came across very, very quickly. So that was really nice, but it's nice to have that standalone editor operating in the video mode too. And it certainly feels a little bit snappier than it did because of the increased performance, the increased write performance. So one of the things I still have to do, of course, is to write this back or backport it into the fourth. Although in the meantime, of course, I can be using it to edit. Let's just do this, send that, and then I can still be using it to edit fourth code, as a text file, and then include that into my programs, just the way I was doing earlier using using the include option. So so that's the progress that I've made over the last few days.